Howdy pards, MrHolster, way up north near the Canadian border on a beautiful, gorgeous day. Starting out the summer of 2017, I've got this gun here. It's a unique gun, a micro Desert Eagle made by Magnum Research in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Yeah, my condolences to them. At any rate, I thought I'd bring this to the range today and do a little video on it. Do a little shooting of it. This is the first time I shot this since I bought it. I picked it up a couple weeks ago. It's a used gun, all steel frame with a nickel plating. And we'll talk about that later when we get back to the shop, and I'll break it down and we'll talk about the gun. Right now, I decided it might be nice for you to get in on the first shots of this gun with me. So I'm going to load this thing up and take a few shots at the little orange guy behind me, and we'll see how it does. It's got a 6-round steel magazine. Just mentioned that before I shoot it, with a plastic base plate. Let's give it a shot and see how it works. Whoa! Flyer! Well, not bad. I'll bring the target back, and we'll talk about it in the shop. I did have a real flyer there. I pulled it low. I'll tell you, the back of this thing doesn't seem very sharp, but it's got a little bit of a dig into your palm. That's why I pulled that second one. Yeah, and I'll show you. It's leaving a little mark. So compared to Jack's bodyguard, it doesn't shoot as comfortably. I'll admit that up front, but yeah, I had to have it just because it's kind of a unique, oddball gun and kind of indestructible. It's the way it's made. We'll talk about that at the shop. Let's head into the shop, guys. Okay, guys, here we are back at the shop with the Desert Eagle Micro. It's actually called the Micro Desert Eagle, made by Magnum Research, Inc. Yeah. All steel frame, steel slide. And the barrel is kind of a unique barrel in it has porting in the top. Let out some of the gases, and what that does is makes the gun operate. It's kind of a complicated gun. It's a neat gun though. Very nicely made. It's kind of intricate, and a lot of machining has to be done to make this thing. Let's get the magazine out of it, and let me see if I can remember how to take it apart. And I'm not joking about that, because I've only taken it apart once since I got it. Because I just did that to clean it up, and then I hadn't shot it till the video you're seeing right now. That's the first time I shot it. So it's got these two marks on the side here, if you can see it. Yeah, right in between the serial number, right before the last three numbers, and right underneath the U and T and 380 auto on the slide. Can you see those? My light here is probably not the greatest for this. So you line those up, which is a challenge in itself. Not really so much a challenge to line it up as much as it is a challenge to hold it. And once you get it like that, yeah. There we go. Problem is you got to turn the barrel, and that's kind of a tricky deal. Once you get it turned, it all slides out. See, the barrel locks it in place, and it just kind of Tough thing to do without pretty much pointing it at you at some point, which I'm sure I did several times there. And the barrel, see, it's got a little locking lug. And you turn it, and it's got to go through the slide, the little locking groove in the slide, and lock in down on the receiver. You see that? And that's what holds that thing together. So it sits in there like this, almost like a Walther PPK, but it's not pinned to the frame or the receiver, but it does sit in like that and makes it a very accurate gun. And then you've got the guide rods and spring, dual guide rods and springs there, which is kind of cool. Just like a real, like the Big Daddy Desert Eagle does. And so you've got that groove machined into the frame there on either side. A lot of work to make this gun. That's probably why they don't make it anymore. It's a very intricate gun, a lot of work to make it. Steel frame, all steel gun, yeah. And just it's a throwback to the way guns used to be. That's why MrHolster liked this gun when he saw it, and he had to have it. Because MrHolster needs another gun like he needs a hole in his head. But yeah, it's just a cool gun. The workmanship to make this gun, it's just kind of neat. It is. It's a neat gun. Now that I got it apart, I'm going to leave it apart because I got to clean it. But somewhere around here, I got that target I was shooting at, and here it is. Hey, here it is. And the first 5 shots, no, it was 6 shots. It's a 6-shot magazine. The first 6 shots, the first one was up here somewhere. I couldn't tell you which one it was. I've circled the first 6 shots taken with that gun, and the second shot went down here. That was my flyer, and I wanted to show you that and talk about that because I'll tell you why that happened. Now, I wish I would have talked about it before I took the gun apart. But that's all right. You see the back side of this gun. It's got a very nice indent here for the web of your hand, and it fits really nice in your hand. And they've put a little cut in there, which really works well because you have a tendency to kind of palm it when you have something this short. And it's very comfortable there. Not so much when you shoot it, because it kind of has a tendency to, what happens when you shoot it is it wants to slide up like this. It would have been nice to have some serrations there to give it a little holding power, because it is kind of a slippery gun, nickel-plated steel. You shoot it and it wants to go like this, and it ends up being you got to readjust it in your hand between each shot. And that kind of threw me off on the second shot. I wasn't expecting it to move in my hand that much. But I think that whole thing would be easily remedied with a piece of bicycle inner tube, cut and shaped just right and put over there. I don't think it would do that. But it does have every shot. When I shot it, it was a real challenge to keep it from doing this. That's why that second shot was low. But just a really cool gun. And I'm not, MrHolster doesn't buy guns based on, for the cool factor. And this isn't a really cool factor either. It's only a cool factor for kind of a gun nerd kind of cool factor, because it's just so neatly made and intricate that it's just cool. So I like it. So it's just kind of a nerdy gun coolness. It's because it's unique. It's a unique gun and finely made, and very accurate, I think, for what it is. A nice, accurate little gun. So there you go, guys. There's the to get it right this time. I got the wrong side of the gun to look at. I think it's Micro Desert Eagle, huh? No, it's on the slide. Yeah, it's called the Micro Desert Eagle. Well, let's just see that. Again, the Micro Desert Eagle. And what a neat gun. You notice the sights are just fixed sights, machined right into the slide. And, you know, if you build the gun right, that's all you need. It's dead. It's going to be dead on center and work for you if the gun's built right. And this is built right. Very nicely made. Nicely made little gun. There you go. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you like my channel, please subscribe.